And 99% of men don't do this, but women absolutely love it. Sounds extreme, maybe, but let me ask you this. How many times have you seen a guy who seems to have everything going for him, looks, success, confidence, yet still struggles to create real, lasting connections with women? It's not about having the perfect pickup line, flashy lifestyle, or even being super charming. The truth is, most men completely overlook a few small but powerful gestures that can make them truly magnetic. Today, I'm about to reveal 7 hidden secrets that women deeply crave, but rarely say out loud. And no, these aren't recycled dating tips you've heard 100 times. These are subtle, psychology-backed insights that tap into how connection actually works, both emotionally and subconsciously. Think of it like this. What if you could understand the deeper emotional needs women often don't even know how to express? What if you could stand out from 99% of men, not by trying harder, not by chasing, but by doing less with more intention? What you're about to hear can shift how women feel about you in a way that feels natural, real, and unforgettable. Here's the truth. If you don't know these things, you're playing the dating game with a blindfold on. You might be missing the chance to build something meaningful, something that actually lasts. That's why I want you to stay until the very end, because the final secret is the most powerful, and once you understand it, you'll never see attraction the same way again. But before we dive in, do me a quick favor. If you're serious about becoming the kind of man who creates real connection, not just surface-level attraction, then hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications. These videos are made to help you level up, not just in dating, but in life. Now let's get into it. Secret number 1, the power of touch before intimacy. Picture this. You're on a date. Everything seems to be going well. She's engaged. Smiling, laughing, but something's missing. You feel it, and then later maybe she doesn't text back. Maybe the energy just fades. What happened? Most men think attraction is built with words alone. Great conversation, shared interests, sure, they help. But for women, connection is physical and emotional, and one of the most overlooked ways to build that connection is through touch. Not aggressive, not suggestive, but intentional and respectful. A subtle gesture, like a calming touch on the shoulder, or even offering a gentle, non-sexual massage in the right moment, can communicate more than hours of conversation. It tells her, "You're safe here, I see you, I want you to feel at ease." It's not about being a pro at massage, it's about presence. When your intention is calm, grounded, and genuine, she feels it. She relaxes into the moment, because she senses that you're not performing, you're just being real. The key is this: it's not the act itself, it's the presence behind it. If you're doing it just to get a reaction, it won't work. But if you're truly in the moment, paying attention to how she responds, being aware of her comfort, that's when it creates connection. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoics, philosophers, said it best: waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Don't overthink, don't act, just be fully present, fully you. Most men never take the time to understand this. That's why they stay stuck in surface-level interactions. But the ones who do, they create experiences that women remember, not because they were flashy, but because they were felt. That kind of connection is rare. And when you master it, you become part of the 1%, the kind of man who doesn't need to try too hard, because his energy speaks for itself. Secret number 2 is the art of flirting, with confidence and respect. This is where most guys either go too far or hold back completely. But real flirting isn't about being overly smooth or cracking cheesy jokes. It's about playful presence, being fully engaged in the moment, showing curiosity, teasing lightly, but always respectfully. Women can feel when you're being authentic versus when you're trying to impress. Confidence isn't loud, it's calm. It's the guy who can hold eye contact, smile, ask meaningful questions, and not need anything in return. When you're flirting, is grounded in genuine interest, not ego. It builds attraction naturally. You're not trying to take her attention, you're sharing energy. And that subtle shift changes everything. Want the rest of the secrets? Let me know. And I'll keep building on this series. Because the truth is, the men who take the time to learn this stuff, the deep emotional and psychological layers of connection, they become unforgettable, not just to women, but to everyone they meet. Secret 2. Flirting with confidence and respect. Most men misunderstand flirting. They either overdo it, coming across as pushy or desperate, or they hold back too much, afraid of making a mistake. The truth is, women love flirting, but only when it's done with confidence, subtlety, and respect. A man who knows how to flirt effortlessly stands out because he creates an energy that feels exciting without pressure. Flirting isn't about trying to impress her with exaggerated compliments or over-the-top jokes. It's about keeping things playful, light, and engaging. Think of it like a dance. You lead, she follows, but neither of you should feel forced into the movement. The best flirting comes from fun, light teasing, not in a mean or sarcastic way, but in a way that sparks chemistry. For example, if she says she loves a certain food, you could say, "Really? That's the best you've got? Clearly you've never had my cooking." It's a subtle, confident challenge that keeps the conversation alive. It adds tension, humor, and curiosity. More importantly, real flirting isn't about trying to win her approval. The moment you try too hard to impress, you lose your edge. Women are naturally drawn to men who are comfortable in their own skin, who can joke, play, and connect without needing anything in return. This is where Stoic philosophy comes in. A high-value man doesn't flirt to win a woman over. He flirts because he enjoys the interaction itself. He's emotionally grounded. He doesn't chase responses or seek validation. He's present, and that presence makes him powerful. Beyond words, it's your body language and energy that matter most. A confident smirk, a slow nod, a well-timed pause. These silent cues speak louder than any line you could say. Attraction is not built through clever words alone. It's built through your energy, your calmness, your vibe. So ask yourself, are you flirting to impress, or are you flirting because you're genuinely enjoying the moment? That one mindset shift changes everything. Master this, and you'll notice how attraction starts working in your favor, effortlessly. Secret 3. The subtle power of touching. Her hair now. Let's talk about something most men overlook, but women deeply feel: the power of touching her hair. At the right moment, this small gesture can create an intense emotional connection. But timing is everything. Done wrong, it can feel awkward or intrusive. Done right, it can say more than words ever could. Here's why it works. The scalp is one of the most sensitive areas of the body, full of nerve endings that trigger emotional and even subconscious responses. A gentle touch on her hair, not rushed, not robotic, communicates intimacy, trust, and attention. But it's not just about the sensation, it's about the message it sends. It says, I'm fully present, I see you, I'm attuned to you. But here's the mistake most men make. They rush it. They touch her hair without real connection, without any emotional context, and that kills the vibe. Touching her hair isn't about playing with it randomly. It's about creating a moment, a shared experience. Picture this. You're sitting together, locked in a deep conversation. She's relaxed, there's chemistry in the air, and at just the right moment you gently brush a strand of hair away from her face. That small action, done with calm confidence and intention, can leave a lasting impression. It says everything without saying a word. But again, timing is everything. This isn't something you do on a first date or before you've built trust. It only works when she already feels emotionally safe with you, when there's warmth in the moment, when she leans in slightly or gives you a soft smile that invites closeness. That's your green light. And if it's not there, you wait. You stay grounded. You don't force the moment, because forced connection is no connection at all. This is where awareness comes. In being emotionally present, being able to read the situation without overthinking it. From a Stoic perspective, this kind of presence is everything. You're not reacting, you're responding. You're not trying to create a moment, you're allowing one to happen. When you do that, she feels it, and the connection becomes real. In ancient times, warriors and leaders almost always had beards. It wasn't just a fashion statement, it was a symbol. A beard stood for resilience, wisdom, and masculine dominance. Traits that said, I can provide, protect, and lead. Fast forward to today, and those associations are still alive. A well-groomed beard still triggers those same perceptions. It suggests confidence, self-assurance, and emotional stability. And yes, women notice that, but here's the catch. It's not just about having a beard, it's about maintaining it. A messy, patchy, or unkempt beard that signals carelessness. But a sharp, well-maintained beard, that tells her something very different. It communicates, I take care of myself, I respect my appearance, I'm intentional about who I am. That's powerful, and it connects directly to Stoic philosophy. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." Your external appearance reflects your inner discipline. In the same way, a well-kept beard isn't just facial. Hair. It's a symbol of patience, control, and self-respect. And here's another underrated factor, contrast. A beard frames the face, sharpens your jawline, and amplifies your expressions. This creates a balance of ruggedness and refinement, a rare combination that most women find incredibly attractive. So does this mean you have to grow a beard to be attractive? Not at all. But if you can, and if you do it right, it becomes a quiet signal of strength, a primal cue that says, I'm grounded, I'm mature, and I know exactly who I am. Final conclusion, how to apply these secrets with effortless confidence. At this point, you've unlocked 7 hidden secrets that most men completely overlook. Yet these small actions can dramatically shift how women perceive you without trying too hard. Let's recap. The power of touch before intimacy builds emotional connection. Flirting with confidence and respect makes you stand out without seeking approval. Touching her hair at the right moment creates instant chemistry. Subtle hand on her back signals leadership and presence. Being her protector in small ways makes her feel secure, even if she doesn't realize why. Using the power of dreams adds emotional depth and mystery. And a well-groomed beard taps into primal instincts of strength and masculinity. Now here's the most important part. Don't force any of this. You don't need to check off each move like a list. Instead, live it, embody it. Let these habits become a natural part of who you are. Because the most attractive man in the room is the one who doesn't need to be. He's not trying to prove anything. He doesn't chase, he creates pull. His presence speaks before he does. So, if you're ready to step out of the 99% and into the rare group of men who truly understand how attraction really works, then start applying these principles one moment at a time. Your future self and your future relationships will thank you. Attraction isn't built by ticking off a checklist. It's built through presence, confidence, and self-awareness. If you try too hard to apply every secret like a strategy, it'll come off as unnatural. The goal isn't to perform. The goal is to embody. Let these insights become a natural extension of who you are. When you're walking beside her, rest your hand lightly on her back, not to impress, but because it feels right. If she's opening up to you, touch her hair gently, in the right moment, not to get a reaction, but to deepen the connection. If you sense curiosity, drop that casual line about a dream you had, not to manipulate, but to invite intrigue. The less effortful it feels, the more powerful it becomes. And here's what most men miss. These aren't just secrets to attraction, they're principles of character. When you practice confidence, presence, and self-mastery, you don't just become more desirable, you become a better man. Women are naturally drawn to men with purpose, men who are grounded, who lead without ego, who listen without needing approval. This is where Stoicism becomes your edge. A Stoic man doesn't chase, he doesn't perform, he simply is. He moves with quiet strength, he lives by values, and his presence speaks louder than any words, because at the end of the day, true attraction isn't about tricks or tactics. It's about how you show up, not just in your love life, but in your life as a whole. So now it's up to you. Will you be like the 99% of men who overlook the power of subtle presence? Or will you become the 1%? The men who understand, embody, and live these truths. If you're ready to apply what you've learned, drop a comment below and tell me which secret surprised you the most. And if this resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe, and make sure you turn on notifications, because this is just the beginning. We've got much more coming, and it's going to transform the way you approach women, dating, and life itself. Stay strong, stay sharp, and start becoming the man you were meant to be. This ties directly back to emotional intelligence and restraint. Stoicism teaches us to read situations without acting on impulse, to remain in control rather than being controlled by desire. That means not reaching out just because you want to, but because it's the right moment to deepen a connection. So the next time you're with a woman and the moment feels right, don't underestimate the power of a simple touch on her hair when done with calm confidence and clear intention. It's one of those rare, subtle gestures that leave a lasting impression without saying a word. Secret 4. The subtle power of a hand on her back. This might seem like the smallest thing, almost unnoticeable, but a light, confident touch on a woman's lower back in public carries weight. Whether you're guiding her through a crowd or walking side by side, this gesture speaks volumes. It communicates leadership, confidence, and most importantly, safety. Here's the thing, women don't need loud, dramatic gestures to feel secure. What they respond to, often subconsciously, are subtle signals that a man is grounded, aware, and capable of leading. And that's exactly what this move does. It tells her without a word that you're present, composed, and in tune with the moment. But like everything else we've talked about, it's not about control, it's not about dominance, it's about presence. Most men either hesitate too much and make it awkward, or they overdo it and come off as overbearing. The power of this move lies in its simplicity, a light touch, brief but deliberate. Just enough for her to feel your presence and register that you're leading with intention. Picture this. You're walking together toward a restaurant. You step slightly ahead to open the door, and as you do, your hand gently rests on her back, guiding her forward without breaking stride. It's calm, smooth, effortless, and that's what makes it powerful. From a Stoic perspective, this is all about self-mastery and quiet control. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." A Stoic man doesn't seek validation. He doesn't act for applause. He moves with clarity, integrity, and awareness. When you place your hand on her back, you're not seeking attention. You're simply being the kind of man who leads quietly, confidently, and that alone is magnetic. In a world where so many men are either too passive or too controlling, mastering this one simple physical expression sets you apart. It shows that you understand the balance between strength and sensitivity, and that balance is what makes her trust you. Secret 5. Being her protector in small ways. Now let's talk about what it really means to be a protector, not in the over-the-top Hollywood action hero way, not in a way that tries to rescue or control. Women today are strong, independent, fully capable of handling life on their own. But here's the secret. Even the strongest women are drawn to men who instinctively show up in small, thoughtful ways. Being a protector isn't about saving her. It's about being aware, noticing details, anticipating needs before she has to ask. It's the little things, standing between her and the street when you walk, offering your jacket when it gets cold, noticing when she's uncomfortable in a situation and quietly stepping in. These aren't grand gestures. They're subtle signals that you are attentive, grounded, and capable of providing a sense of safety, not because she needs it, but because you naturally provide it. This type of behavior activates something primal, not dominance, not control, but reliability, and reliability is deeply attractive. It says, you don't have to worry, I've got this. And that feeling, that she can relax around you, that she can be feminine and free because you're holding the frame with confidence and care. That's what creates true emotional connection. A protector isn't reactive, he's proactive. He's not overbearing, he's simply present. He watches, listens, and when needed, acts, not to prove his worth, but because it's who he is. And from a Stoic lens, this is what separates boys from men. Emotional awareness, purposeful action, quiet strength. When you show up in these small, consistent ways, you don't have to say much. She feels it, and that feeling stays with her long after the moment is over. Secret 5. Being her protector in small, consistent ways. Women today are strong, independent, capable, but that doesn't mean they don't crave the presence of a man who makes them feel safe. Not in some over-the-top dramatic way, but in the small, consistent actions that quietly say, I've got you. Most men think being a protector means stepping in only during major situations, like breaking up a fight or defending her in a loud public moment. But the truth is, it's the little things that build trust and attraction over time. It's how you react when someone is rude to her. It's making sure she gets home safely without turning it into a production. It's standing beside her during an awkward or tense situation, offering silent, steady support. These aren't things you do to impress her. They're things you do because it's who you are. A man who is calm under pressure, who responds with composure, who's aware of his environment without being overbearing. That's the kind of man who makes her feel safe. And in today's world, where unpredictability is everywhere, stability is rare and incredibly attractive. But let's be clear, being a protector doesn't mean taking control of her life or treating her like she's fragile. It means being someone she can rely on when it matters. It means not panicking under pressure, not escalating situations unnecessarily, and also not disappearing when things get real. This is where Stoic philosophy becomes invaluable. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." A Stoic man is emotionally steady. He doesn't act from insecurity or ego. He observes, assesses, and responds with calm precision. That's what makes a woman feel at ease in your presence. She feels like she can breathe around you. She doesn't have to be on all the time. Because you're grounded, you're not looking for drama. You are the calm within the chaos. And when you embody this kind of presence, you rise above the 99% of men who either overreact or don't act at all. You become the man who doesn't need to talk about being strong. You show it through action, through restraint, through consistency. Secret 6, the psychological effect of mentioning a dream about her. This next one is subtle but powerful. Most men never think to use it, but when done right, It creates an emotional connection that lingers in a woman's mind far longer than any compliment ever could. It's the power of dreams. Specifically, mentioning that you had a dream about her. Now stay with me, this isn't manipulation or game playing. It's about tapping into something real and personal. Because a dream feels unplanned, subconscious. It's intimate without being overt. Imagine you're having a casual conversation with her, and at some point, you drop this line. You know, I had the weirdest dream about you last night. Then, pause. Don't rush the explanation. Let her curiosity kick in. 9 times out of 10, she'll lean in. Wait, really? What was it about? Here's the key. You don't need a deep, romantic story. Keep it light, natural, and a bit playful. Something like, I don't remember the whole thing, but we were just sitting in this random cafe, talking about something deep. It felt nice. What this does is subtle, but profound. You're planting the idea in her mind that she exists in your inner world, that your connection goes beyond the surface, that even when you weren't consciously thinking of her, she was still there. To a woman, that feels meaningful, because it isn't forced. It's not a pickup line. It feels organic because it is. A dream is something your mind created on its own. That alone makes it powerful. And deeper still, this taps into a core aspect of female psychology: mystery, intrigue, emotional significance. A woman wants to feel special, not in a generic "you're beautiful" way, but in a unique, unspoken, almost magical way. Saying, I had a dream about you, creates that. There's no pressure, no expectations, just the suggestion that maybe there's something more going on between you. Now let's connect this to Stoicism. A Stoic man doesn't chase attention. He doesn't over-explain. He allows curiosity to work in his favor. He understands that real connection doesn't come from trying harder. It comes from inviting emotion, not forcing it. He lets subtle, natural moments build attraction over time. So ask yourself, are you trying to impress, or are you creating depth? Master this simple move, and you'll find yourself living rent-free in her mind, not because of what you said, but because of what she felt when you said it. So the next time you're in a conversation with a woman, remember this: subtlety wins. Don't force the moment, don't overuse the dream trick, but when the timing is right, watch how her body language shifts. Watch how she starts to lean in, not just physically, but emotionally. She'll start seeing you differently, and that changes everything. Secret number 7, how a well-groomed beard triggers primal attraction. You might think facial hair is just a style choice, but science and psychology say otherwise. A well-groomed beard does more than change how you look. It alters how women perceive you on a deep, subconscious level. Multiple studies have shown that women often associate bearded men with 3 things: strength, maturity, protection. These aren't just preferences, they're primal attraction triggers, hardwired instincts that date back thousands of years.